pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do the reading. Pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 231 of the laws of 1976, the Open Public Meetings Act, the Board Secretary notified the public that notice of the date, time, location, and agenda of this meeting, to the extent known, was provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of this meeting in the following manner: by posting such notice on the public announcement board of the Lakewood Board of Ed offices in the Lakewood Township Municipal Building, by mailing such notice to the offices of the Asbury Park Press and the Tri-Town News, by filing such notice with the Board Secretary, by mailing such notice to all individuals requested and paid for a copy of said. Roll call. Mr. Grunhut?
Yes.
Ms. Micchio?
Yes.
Mr. Ostreicher?
Present.
Mr. Seidler?
Yes.
Mrs. Silver?
Here.
And Mr. Thomas?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Hallelujah.
Sorry. What did you say?
Okay. Any minutes? Any minutes from the May 17th meeting?
Need a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the May 17th meeting?
I second.
I'll make the motion.
May 17th. Well, with the absence of Ms. Romano, we finally have had a chance, my secretary, whose job is not to do the minutes. She's been working overtime, and she got the minutes of May 17th done.
Do you have the attendance on that?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have the attendance on that?
It's in your packet.
Last week. Last week.
At the May 17th meeting, there were no board members absent. Everyone was here.
Thank you. All right, call it.
Second.
I'm sorry, who made the motion to accept the minutes?
Mr. Seidler made the motion.
Okay, Mr. Seidler made the motion. Mr. Brownhut?
Yes.
Ms. Micchio?
Yes.
Mr. Ostreicher?
Yes.
Mr. Seidler?
Yeah.
Mr. Silver?
Yeah.
And Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Recognition of the public.
First person on the list this evening is Mr. Glenn Kerber.
Glenn Kerber, 147 Regent Place. First thing I'd like to do is thank Dr. Deb for all the assistance she gave us for last weekend. It was a nightmare. She came through with flying colors for us with the band. I'd like to thank her. The second thing, our band assistant has yet to get a contract for his assistants. We was just wondering when he was going to get it. Everyone keeps promising it. I mean, we know he's not going to get paid till December, but we're hoping he's not going to get his contract in December to guarantee his payment. Is there any time soon he's going to receive it? That's all my questions. I made it nice and short.
This thing was supposed to have been raised to us prior to his commencement of employment. It was not. We were told after the fact, and we're now going to go ahead with the recommendations once it's made by the appropriate people at the high school.
Because they told us that they did go to you.
No, no.
Through the chair, Ms. Silva, is there some way to resolve this?
Yes, and it will be by the next board meeting.
That's okay.
Next speaker will be Mr. William Hopton.
Good evening, William Hopday, 30 Schoolhouse Lane, Lakewood, New Jersey. I know how difficult the jobs are here at Lakewood School District, and I know how difficult the positions of the Board of Education are. But one of the things that I think that we really have to strive for is stability. With Mr. Finger's resignation, we have now accumulated some history of the revolving door. And if we are to be stable, and if we are to be able to do all of those things that the administration is expected to do, and the Board of Education is expected to manage, we have to strive for stability. We owe it to each one of the students, we owe it to the district, we owe it to the administration, we owe it to the Board of Education and the public. It's a difficult thing because sometimes you cannot control it, but it's our obligation to do everything in our power to stabilize, keep people. The goals and objectives have got to be reached short-term, long-term, and we have to keep on progressing towards that. If we don't, we're going to be in this revolving door, and we're just not going to get out. So let's stabilize. Let's think about the long term. Thank you very much.
Next speaker will be Dorothy Millman, or Milman.
Oh, I didn't want to.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to sign.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to speak to
Well,
her?
I want to backtrack just to respond to
Oh,
Mr.
sorry.
Hobday. It was kind of quickly. I hear you loud and clear. Having been on this board for 9 years now, I recognize the need for stability in the business office, and I've seen it when it was in chaos. I have to tell you, it was to my disappointment that, Mr. Finger had to, he had to do something different, but that was his choice, and I can't knock him for his choice, but what I can say is that I've watched the growth in that department, our business office. I've seen some things that we battled for years no longer occur, and I'm not one that pretty much, I don't mince words. If, I don't like you, you pretty much know it, and I have to say that, having worked with Mr. Finger, and when he first came in, me and Mr. Finger, we didn't exactly hit it off for quite some time. But he did the job and he did it well. And I had to respect that. And I am very concerned about our district, having seen what I've seen in the previous years, that for whatever the reason he felt compelled to leave. And there were a lot of reasons, I'm sure, that are his own personal reasons, but at the end of the day, I do feel that we have taken somewhat of a step back in that department, and we hope not to reap some very sour rewards as a result of it. So, I really commend Mr. Finger for a lot of the things that he put in place, to the recent audits that have occurred that have shown, favorable things towards Lakewood, and not to be every year going through, we went through, you were there. I have not experienced that in the last few years, and that has been the direct relationship to him being here. So he is going to be sorely missed.
The next speaker, I'm sorry, someone agree? Oh, sorry.
Okay, Mr. Hobday, you get a lot of correspondence and email. And what I have seen lately, the demands that were put on Mr. Finger, I'm not surprised he's leaving. I really just wondered about how long it's going to take. And this is what's happening to him. And this is the saddest thing I can tell for Lakewood schools, because we finally got in line. We know what's coming. Everything's done right. We have an auditor that keeps a good umbrella over him, and all. And it's I can't imagine. First of all, we're going to have to start looking. We don't even have an assistant where we can basically start taking over, and it's a mess.
We're in trouble.
We're in trouble. Thank you. I didn't want to say it that drastically, but
The word mess is a good word, too.
I just want to say that as a relatively, I'm 1 year into my 3-year contract, and one of the things that was made much easier, and it's very difficult for a new superintendent without an efficient BA. And beyond words, and I've been in this system in education for 39 years, I have never met anyone as conscientious, as disciplined, and he is a straight-up guy who does the right thing because he wants the right thing for children. It'll be a great loss to Lakewood. I am still lamenting it. The only thing I can say, I don't think anyone will ever fill his shoes, but one of the things that we are doing, he and I, we've advertised for his position. We've also asked